Hey everyone, this is Mindy and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'm going to be creating a background using some Distress Mica Sprays. This is going to help create a subtle shimmery look to my background. Some of the products I'm using today are the Billow Butterfly Cover Plate and the stamp set Best Year Yet. I'm also going to be using the inks Morning, Twilight, and Galaxy from Simon Says Stamp. I'm going to start out by cutting out my background, so I took the cover plate and I'm going to hold it down with a low tack tape and I'm going to tilt it onto my cardstock. So that way when I run it through my die cut machine, it's not getting that hard straight edge right away. I have it going through the die cut machine at that angle. Now this is a 110-pound cardstock, so it's going to be really nice and sturdy. But I am going to die cut it about 2 more times because I want to be able to kind of create a little bit of lift and dimension. I'm going to use some liquid glue and attach these all together, and I do go between all of those open areas and up on the butterfly, and then also adding that liquid glue around the very edge. This is going to help so that I can kind of shimmy it and shift it to exactly where it needs to be. So once I have all 3 of these layers in place, it's going to be really nice and solid and just give it a nice kind of lift to the background. So for the background, I have some Hammermill cardstock, which is super smooth. I'm starting at the very top with Morning ink. So this is the lightest color. I have a flat blending brush to apply my color, and I'm going to use this same blending brush for all 3 of the colors, which is one of the reasons why I started with the lightest ink. I went about 1/3 of the way in, and then I'm going to come in with Twilight. Now Twilight and using a flat blending brush, it does help soften the color so it's not super dark when I come in. I just continue to add color to build up that kind of depth to the color. Then I'm going to turn my cardstock and come in at the bottom with Galaxy ink. Now this one, I do have to come in actually quite a ways because remember on our cover plate, there's about maybe 1/4 of an inch around the edge. So I want to come in and make sure that I have a lot of that dark color in there. To kind of step up the background now, I'm going to bring in some white acrylic paint and I'm going to mix it with a couple drops of clean water and just add these white splatters all over the background. I like to do this in my Splat Box because it helps kind of control where my splatters are going and I don't have a huge mess on my desk. Then I'm going to take my heat tool and dry those splatters. Now I'm coming in with the Distress Mica Spray. So this first one is brushed pewter. You need to shake them up really well before you spray them. I'm going to dry that background once again, and I'm going to come in with tarnished brass. Now I wasn't pushing the top down all the way, which is why I got kind of those larger splatters, and I love how that turned out and all of that shine on my background. The sentiment I'm going to use comes off of the Best Year Yet stamp set. I love this mix of font where it kind of has that scriptiness at the top and then kind of more of a simple style on the bottom. There's a lot of great birthday sentiments on here, and I love that it has a coordinating die to them. So I stamped the sentiment twice onto some 110-pound cardstock, and then I'm going to use that coordinating die to die cut it out. Now, as usual, I like to die cut out multiples and layer my sentiment together. That's just easier to create that dimension instead of trying to trim down foam strips. Now, another thing that I like to use lately is my Turnabout Jig. So this is a sticky mat. There are plenty of sticky mats out there. I placed my panel down on that sticky mat because my panel was kind of warping a little bit from all of the spray that I added. So that sticky mat is helping it hold it down flat so that I can add liquid glue to the back of my die cut panel, attach it over the top of my background, and then I can just peel that easily off of the sticky mat. And I'm going to place a couple acrylic blocks on the top and let that really sit so it really adheres down to the background. Once I let that sit for a few minutes, I added some liquid glue to my sentiment. I'm going to place this kind of top center-ish and then just secure that down. I also like to put a block on here and let that sit for a minute. And then I'm going to come in with some of these Ice Sparkle embellishments. I thought they tied in really well with my shimmery background. So I'm using my pick and stick tool and connect glue that I have in a fine tip bottle. So that finishes off the card project. I really love that shimmery background. It's very subtle and I think it just works perfectly with the die cut butterfly windows. I will have all of my supplies used in the video today listed down below in the video description and over on my blog. I really appreciate you stopping by today and would love it if you became a subscriber, and be sure to hit that notify button so you're notified when new videos are posted.